Simplifying this complex rational expression using the method in which we find a single LCD of the entire expression and use that to clear the denominators, we would want to start by looking at all of the denominators in the whole expression. I have a y, I have a 5, I have an xy. This term here has no denominator, this 2y term, so we can ignore it for the sake of finding our LCD. I can see I need a factor of 5, I need a factor of x, and even though y appears in two separate denominators, it's still only to the power 1 in both cases, so we only need to include one copy of y in our LCD. What I'm going to do now is multiply this whole expression by 5xy over 5xy and clear out the denominators in each level of this problem. This is easiest if we can visualize some of the cancellation that's going to happen. It's a little bit dangerous to come along and start canceling with a pencil because this 5xy in the numerator here needs to get multiplied by both terms. It needs to get multiplied by 1 over 5. It also needs to get multiplied by 3x over y. The cancellation that will happen for each of those terms is a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is visualize this cancellation without actually doing anything permanent in pen. And to help me do that, I'm going to do a few things. One of them is that I'm going to bring in some temporary blockers to show what is canceling for this product. So the first computation I'm going to do is 3x over y times 5xy. I can see that because I have y in the denominator here, that factor of y is going to cancel with this factor of y, and what I will be left with at that stage is 3x from my numerator and a factor of 5x from my LCD. Then for the next product, the 5 is the factor in the denominator that's going to cancel. So what I have here is now minus 1 from my numerator times xy from my LCD. I'm going to do the same thing now in the denominator on this first product with the 2y. Nothing cancels, so I'll take these blockers away, and that first term is 2y times the whole LCD of 5xy. My second term has xy in the denominator, so I can see that this whole xy is going to cancel with this whole xy, leaving me with minus 3 from the numerator and just a factor of 5 from the LCD. I have now cleared all the denominators, and all I have to do now is clean this up a little bit. In my first term, 3x times 5x, I have left 15x squared. In my second term, that's just minus xy. The 1 isn't necessary. In the denominator, 2y times 5xy, I now have 10xy squared. And 3 times 5 becomes minus 15 here. I should really check this to see if there are any common factors anywhere. So I could factor the numerator, since I can see that I have a common factor of x that could come out of that numerator. So I can take x out of the numerator, giving me 15x minus y. And the denominator really doesn't factor at all. It just has to stay as 10xy squared minus 15. So my final answer could also be written in this factored form. Since there are no factors to cancel out, it would just stay like this.